What happened to Sneako? Now, believe it or not, there was a time when Sneako's content was actually somewhat motivational as well as controversial. His old street interviews really focused more on motivational and uplifting content, mixed in with controversial topics as well, but done in a thought-provoking way.
Do you think it's okay to be fat?
Oh yeah, I love fat women.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm fat, so yeah.
My mom's a little fat. Here you go.
This is when I first came across Sneako. I'll say the year is around 2020 or so, if I'm remembering correctly, and I really enjoyed his style of content. But somewhere along the way, this man has taken his semi-positive content and yeeted it into the abyss that is Meg Thee Stallion's open mouth in place of clout. His content now is basically a carbon copy of Andrew Tate beta male rage, fueled by the attention he gets from the ridiculous claims he makes, which in turn goes back into his massive head he's seen to have grown, and then so the toxic cycle of trash content continues. So what happened? Did Sneako just let the fortune and fame get to his head? Or is this a story of vengeance? Is he just a product of the circumstances placed upon him? Is this all just retaliation for the many bans and quote-unquote canceled moments he's been in? Find out this week on Ghostface Shortee Games. Also, sorry, I kind of been slow on the videos. I recently went through a move, and then once I finally settled in, I got sick as a dick. But your boy's back and ready to go. So make sure you like, subscribe, grab your girlfriend's cheeks before I do it. Let's get into it.
What you doing, son? Nothing. Just chilling.
Sneako, or Nicholas Sneako Kende Balinthazi, what the f? Is a 25-year-old streamer, comedian, former YouTuber, and alpha male personality alike. Starting his YouTube journey early on, Sneako started posting content to the site back in 2013, where, like most of us who started YouTube, originally posted gameplay content until he decided to niche down a bit and switch to a more ranting style of content, and eventually he would hit the streets and ask people thought-provoking questions that were designed to make the viewers see things in a different light, or at least get them to start a dialogue.
Do you have a racial preference when you're dating? No.
No.
Yes, African American women.
Why do you say that?
I can't do that. I'm sorry. I want to. I can't because I don't know where this. I can't.
All right, man.
Videos like "Would you say the N-word for $1" were his kind of content. And at this time, I really did enjoy his videos. I thought he had good ideas, I liked his approach, I thought he was funny, and I even thought he had a good heart and seemed to show empathy for people. Boy, was I wrong. But regardless of my opinion, Sneako was, and I guess still is, but more on that later, a popular streamer. With his 2 channels boasting over 2 million subscribers before they were deleted, and me even being one of those 2 million, it's fair to say that people enjoyed watching his content for one thing or another. But around the start of 2022 is where things would start taking a much more extreme turn. Let's do a little imagining. Picture yourself in 2022, the world's just coming off a lockdown, during which a lot of YouTubers took advantage of the free time to blow up, Sneako included. But another man would hit the scenes harder than Mike Tyson hitting that white dude on a plane for messing with him when he was just trying to watch Edward Scissorhands. And that man's name is, of course, Andrew Tate. And with the very rapid and massive explosion in popularity that Andrew Tate had, a lot of clones would pop up in place and try to capitalize off the hype. The whole alpha male, what do you bring to the table, woman hater club was born. And Sneako was a major stockholder in the company. And although this was only the height of when his insatiable lust for pissing people off and being a fucking weirdo would peak, it wasn't the beginning of his controversies. Let's take a look at some of the many drama feats this man has been a part of. We shall kick it off hot in September 2020, where Sneako would post a video where he claimed that Cuties was his new favorite movie. Now, if you don't remember, Cuties was a French film made in 2020 that highlighted the negative effects that social media had on young women and how it over-sexualizes them too young and too much. Though the movie was supposed to be a sort of stand against this behavior, it in itself was the very thing it was fighting, because many times in the movie, young women, and by women I mean children, are shown twerking and being put in sexual situations. Safe to say this movie was not well received and it was a massive controversial thing at the time. So of course for Sneako to make a video claiming that he loved it and just try to brush off how the movie isn't bad itself was just the first small pebble kicked at the glass house. I guess not enough to break yet. I don't know how, but it wasn't. But don't worry, there's plenty more where that comes from. In 2023, an old clip of Sneako on a podcast back in 2019 resurfaced where it showed Sneako talking about how he used to be in an open relationship with his now ex-girlfriend, and how on one occasion they went to a swingers party where, upon swapping girls, Sneako couldn't bring himself to partake with the girl and instead just watched his girl and another man, you know.
Imagine seeing the girl you love, like,
Get fucked.
get fucked.
You love her?
Yeah, I do. I love it. Yeah, I love her.
And
Good
you
answer. Good
allowed the love of your life to
Queen
get
to get-
fucked
by another man.
What happened to that?
So can she enjoy it? Like, what if she's enjoying it too much?
That's the thing. It's like she's moaning pretty loud. Like, I don't know, like how much you. I didn't expect you to be.
She was moaning loud.
Huh?
She was moaning loud.
So the first time,
crazy.
The first time, as soon as I saw like 3 pumps in, I just got up and walked out. I'm just like, I can't do that. I can't.
That's literally
Just
the plot.
it was just like, what it
plot
is.
of you.
A 1, a 2, and a 3, and Sneako was out.
So we were supposed to swap another couple.
Were you fucking his girl?
I was not fucking with her.
So
now.
you just sat there Indian style with your feet
Y'all
crossed.
both just sat there.
Well, she was on top of me. She was like,
and
she was on, and I was just like not fucking with it. And I saw her, and she was like, and I was like, fuck that. And I just left the room. And then she left too. Like, luckily, I thought she
You're
was
a
gonna
mood
stay
killer,
there.
dog. Why you leave the room?
But I couldn't, like, it was, I was literally having PTSD watching that. I was like having war flash. Like I just started, could not do it.
I don't know, man. Watching some random dude pile drive your girlfriend with spirit fingers and Shakira hip gyrations while you sit in the corner sad and confused doesn't seem very alpha male nor player to me. But what do I know, right? Anyways, this clip will be the source of many online personalities as well as people across many different social media platforms taking jabs at the streamer. And for good reason. Parading online as some sort of superior, higher than thy self-righteous player and giving tips and opinions on how to get girls and relationship advice while letting some wacky shit like this take place right in front of you is actually goofy as hell, and I do not condone such shenaniganistic behaviors. But again, that's just me. Well, being a cuck isn't a crime, right? I mean, at least it's not the biggest screw up one could find themselves in. But you know what is? Blowing a friendship with one of the biggest creators on your platform, and any platform for that matter. That's right, Mr. Beast himself. Back in early Mr. Beast days, he would actually credit Sneako with being one of his favorite YouTubers at the time. But once Mr. Beast obviously exploded far past Sneako in popularity, while Sneako was not grinding as hard, Mr. Beast decided to extend a helping hand and invite Sneako to be a part of the team. It was short-lived though, as Sneako only appeared in one of Mr. Beast's videos before he would see his exit. Sneako would later state that although they were friends, that he let his ego and emotions get the better of him and jealousy is what caused the two to part ways. Now, if blowing it with the biggest YouTuber isn't big enough, he also burned many other bridges with people such as Keemstar, D'Angelo Wallace, Kanye West himself, and even the king of commentary himself, Penguin Zero aka Charlie. In May 2022, Charlie made a video where he talked about the host of Fresh and Fit podcast, and in true Penguin Zero fashion, eloquently described the ridiculousness that came out of their mouths.
The only thing more pathetic than a guy who calls himself an alpha male is a guy who calls himself an alpha male and then tries to sell advice to desperate, lonely men. The entire purpose of this show is to bring women on to insult and belittle them to their face, while also preaching that men should have the right to cheat on their significant other as many times as they want, whereas their significant other isn't even allowed to look at other men. They have to go in public with like fucking horse blinders on, and if they even so much as glance at a dude, you need to kick them to the streets immediately because they're a fucking disgusting, worthless whore. It's a lot of horrible, abhorrent shit that they talk about.
Well, Mini Macho himself did not take kind to this commentary and clap back. Charlie would reply with another video directed at Sneako specifically this time, where he would criticize him for his obvious childish behaviors, picking on a girl, that being his girlfriend at the time and making fun of her, and being a fan of the movie Cuties, which we discussed earlier in the video. The next time the two would take shots at each other would be one night where they were both streaming at the same time. Going back and forth, Charlie would tell Sneako to go look at his clips if he wants to see what he's saying about him. Sneako responded by telling Charlie to watch his clips, as he showed a gun to the stream and began to get sturdy, as the young whippersnappers call it these days.
Watch my clips. Watch my clips. You want me to watch your clips? Watch my clips. These are the only clips I'm watching, you were?
Charlie would make another video about it a few days later, where he would not only call out Sneako's terminology for using the word clips in place of gun magazines, and to really hammer home just how much of a tool this guy is.
So I said, watch my clips to see what I was saying about you. I had to communicate via Twitch clips. And I'm sorry to be that guy, this is like the grammar police of guns, but he's a fucking imbecile, you absolute buffoon. What you have there is not clips. These are mags. They're mags, not clips, you absolute fucking dummy. The same way that this is also a mag. They're all mags. Stop saying clips, you look fucking stupid here.
Soon after that, Sneako would challenge Charlie to a fight, which seemed to be all the rage with content creators these days, as it usually generates a large sum of money depending on who the fighters are. Charlie declined, as he felt he did not need to stoop to Sneako's level just for the sake to do it. He also stated that Sneako is of bigger stature than him and probably would win. No shame in that. Perhaps an ego boost to the man Sneako, but let's be honest. How childish is it to challenge someone to a fight as an adult because they said some mean words about you. Boo-hoo. But funny that we would make it to the topic of fighting, because just this year in January 2024, Sneako got into more drama with another person. But this time it was with Mikey Musumeci, who just happened to be a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt and an MMA fighter.
It's called an Aoki lock. It's a modified heel hook, but
Jiu-Jitsu is for autistic people.
what I think of a master of Jiu-Jitsu is somebody that inspires another generation.
Jiu-Jitsu, I swear, this is why I like striking. This is a competition where it's an art and it's an art form, but I learned from the master. He looks like Mark Zuckerberg. He shouldn't be winning.
When Mikey challenged Sneako to a fight himself, he wasn't so keen on accepting it like he was with Charlie.
So today I'm going to talk about bullies. Bullies are weak people that make fun of others around them, that give themselves relevance, and then make themselves feel good. They pick on the differences of humans, which is the most beautiful part of humans, their uniqueness. I really don't like bullies, guys. And there's this guy named Sneako making fun of me, making fun of my friend, making fun of jiu-jitsu. He calls himself a boxer. I'm a jiu-jitsu guy. Let's have an MMA fight. I challenge Sneako to an MMA fight. I'm going to shut his mouth, and I'm going to take the bully's lunch money.
The energy wasn't brought to this fight, and who would have thought? It seems Sneako's only down to fight when he knows he'll win. Common bully tactics. Only take fights you know you'll win, so there's no actual challenge or room for growth. You know, the old age-old practice that all the greatest of great fighters took.
I make jokes. I'm a streamer. I joke about everybody, me, chat, everything, all day, every day. What? I said in that video you're upset about, you would make me tap in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You would win. In MMA, even with striking, you would go, this is what you would do. Grab my heel and do the same shit you did to your master. You would win. You're a world champion. I train boxing sometimes. What the f do you think the result was gonna be? Is this a skit? I was looking at this and reading through the comments like, is everybody pranking me?
He would go on and say that since he saw Mikey trained with Mark Zuckerberg, the founder and creator of Meta, that the only way he would agree to fight him is if he was granted an interview with Zuck himself to discuss his views on Zionism. Now, anybody with half a brain knows that that's an order that most definitely is not gonna be made. You, me, and Sneako know this, so safe to say he'll obviously never fight Mikey, but I'm sure he knew that when he made the demand in the first place.
You are the definition of somebody plugged in. Look at you! I never called myself an alpha male. I want to get to that point. Everybody in here wants to make it out. But are you really gonna sit here and not call yourself a beta male? You can genuinely look in the mirror and not think that you're anything but a beta male soy boy?
That's just a tiny look at some of the dumb things this man Sneako has said and done to bring him down from from the people like me and even Mr. Beast's favorite YouTuber to an insatiable fuck muffin who spews racist, misogynistic, and his alpha male views to his innocent, young, impressionable subscribers, thereby creating the next generation of toxic tubers. Ah, the circle of life. Clout is one hell of a drug, and it's crazy to see what some people will do and say just for the clicks and views. Now again, I will state that at one point in time I really did like this guy and found enjoyment in his content. I think at some point he lost sight of the bigger picture, and in his quest to be the biggest, best, and richest person out there, his words, not mine, he decided to leave a trail behind of broken relationships and toes stepped on. I hope that he can at some point very soon see his error in his ways and take the necessary steps to correct his path before it's too late. But let's be honest, it's probably already past that point. Only time will tell. Well, that's it, guys. That was a look at Sneako and his current content and what it all means for the future. If you like this video, please make sure to leave a like and comment down below. Let me know if there's anybody specific you want to see me cover next. Thanks for watching, and until next time, wash your ass. Okay, bye.